long enough unless I have one that plugs directly into the wall. But then it's like an issue with my energy bill.
God damn.
She just said something really funny, but you'll never know what it was.
That's most things I say.
Hey! Welcome back, everyone. Podcast number 3 of the Girlies Nights podcast. We are doing it during the day, though, so
That's. We won't tell if you won't.
we're so our little secret.
You may have noticed a new face.
Yeah.
New gorgeous.
Isn't it the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
I'm not necessarily a new face. I've been here down below every single episode, but I am sick 24/7.
This is the love of our lives. This is Ms. Bella.
Bella.
Yeah, she's been here. She's been new. We did not just like find this woman on the
No.
street.
She
And
is
we're like, do you want to be on the pod?
And she was like, oh my God, I love you guys.
I was in the original conception of wanting to do a podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is the OG. She is as original as it gets.
Speaking of being sick, I just went on a week solo trip to Michigan, and I drove.
Doesn't that sound like the dream?
And I was sick twice this month, and long story short, I was projectile vomiting out of the window while driving 75
Long story short, just to get into the
miles an hour down the highway. So, but here I am today.
so
Was
how did everyone else feel about that?
I wasn't really paying attention to them.
You weren't. They
I
probably
suppose,
you probably weren't.
No,
They probably couldn't see very well
it
because
was
of all the vomit on
on
their
their
windshield.
windshield. She was like, I didn't really pay attention much to them.
I would have been so. I'm out of windshield wiper fluid right now. I would have been like, of course this is happening because I'm out of fucking fluid.
I don't think anyone was behind me. Actually, I have no idea. So
Call in.
I'm trying
Comment
to-
below if you were. Someone's gonna be
If
in
you-
Michigan like that was her.
If you
it was actually I was in Iowa.
Oh,
if you or
that makes it
any of
better.
your family have been victim.
Yeah,
to
please,
Bella's
my Venmo
projectile
is blank,
vomit.
blank, 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 please.
they'd pay
Send me-
you.
No.
send me a
No.
request.
You may be entitled to financial compensation.
Yeah.
Compensation.
You can. I'll Venmo
Her
you
lawyers
some.
will be in touch.
No, I won't. But anyway,
We'll never admit that, though.
What
Wow,
an
oh my God,
introduction.
hold
so
on.
nice to be here.
That's so
And not on the side of the road.
vomiting.
Blowing
I
chunks.
slept. Yeah, I slept solo in the car. I was there for 4 hours at some random rest stop,
Oh.
vomiting out the door. It was fun.
You've really been to the
It was
just
fun.
girly things. Just girly things.
So,
Don't you
but
love
I'm here
that?
today. I made it. I made it
Yeah.
back.
She's alive.
She
So
almost
thanks
died
for-
trying to make it back to us.
Thanks
For
for
this.
having me.
And that's love. That's so sweet. Also horrendous. I'm so sorry that you went through that. That's-
Yeah,
Isn't that so sad?
At this point in our
it makes sense.
lives,
just can't win. Just
That's-
anytime we do anything, we
that's
can't
just a
win.
Tuesday. Like,
Yeah.
It really is, and especially for me. So I'm thankful to be here today.
Don't you?
we're thankful to have
because-
you.
She was so excited. She was like, "I'm gonna
Oh.
go on a solo road trip. I'm gonna listen to my music. I'm gonna feel the
Like, that sounds like a coming of age
the
film.
wind through my hair, and
Then
by
it
wind
turned
through
into,
my
like,
hair, I mean
there's
wind
puke in my
blowing
rear
my
view.
vomit across the highway.
Um,
Oh, also, just so you all know, Callie's here in spirit.
There she is.
Callie's helping us produce
right there.
today. She's in the corner. You want to say something, Callie? She's off camera, but
She's
no
mic'd
pressure.
up.
I'm lurking.
She's lurking.
said working.
Oh, she's working. No, she
Oh,
said
She
lurking.
said lurking.
I was trying to make it better, but
She's
it's
trying to.
fine.
Yeah, we try to help, and
She was trying to save you,
If
Callie,
y'all
and you
don't
said,
know,
"No, I said
if
lurking."
y'all don't know, we are women in film, and Callie is over there practicing her sound skills.
yes.
So if it sounds bad, my feelings will be hurt.
It's her fault.
Comment below if it sounds bad.
At least
Really,
we
like,
have someone. At least we have someone to blame it on. Yeah. So
And we kind
Not
of like
us.
we're kind of the whole trifecta here at Girlies Nights.
there's
we
4
have
of us.
yeah.
trifecta as in like the 10 of us that there are. We all
True.
do different things, and we all like make up a whole team. So that's really great.
I know. I'm really lucky. And I also think that's I think that's uncommon as well to have so
Totally.
many female friends who are in film.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know, just so lovely to work with. Like, I don't know. It's always, every time I'm on a set, it makes it so much better. Like,
Mhm.
the energy is so much more professional, like, respectful.
Well, I
It's
think
so nice having you all.
I think there are so many of us because we're like, oh my god, another woman in film. Please, like,
We're clinging.
oh my god.
clinging. We're like,
Latch
hey,
on.
you want to be part of our production company?
Even if we
No
don't,
pressure.
even if we don't all see each other as often as we'd like, it's like my God.
It's
like,
so reassuring.
just
to know.
so happy.
It would be
to-
so lonely without you.
Not
all.
even as often as we like is like a couple like lower end 2 times a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get to
Yeah.
hang out as much. And now that we're kind of doing like freelance film, now we've all graduated from film school.
graduated.
Mhm.
We're all graduated.
Me
We
too.
all have at
Got
least
that degree.
our associates. No, don't mean to flex.
But
Don't mean to flex.
I have an associate's in acting. That's so embarrassing to say.
I'm trying. you said it, and I was like, yeah.
No,
yeah,
good for you.
No, I'm so proud of you. Okay, but that's because they don't really matter. Ooh, is this gonna be? Oh my God, hot take. It doesn't really matter if you have a film degree. It really doesn't. Like that's what a lot of people say. As long as you're doing it, that's all that matters.
That's what I
Film
tell my
degree or
family.
not, as long as you know the right people, you can make whatever films. So we just did it because we value education.
No, when people in my family are like, when are you going to get a real degree? I'm like, I didn't have to get one in the first place. You're lucky I went there. You're
It's
lucky.
really true.
I try. You know what? I'm
That's all
proud of
you're gonna
that, and you
get.
should be too. Because
So you're
I went
that's the
above and
last
beyond.
time you're going to see me in a cap and gown, ma'am.
I graduated in December and have already had like
So
a
good
good
A.
amount of job opportunities.
Which
And
is
not one of
great.
them has ever asked for my resume. Or
So what
not
do
my resume, sorry, my degree. Like it's all just been my resume and my
Yeah.
portfolio.
So Bella's quite the savant. Sorry, this is an inside joke.
Which is really fun
she-
for a wider audience.
She sorry, guys.
you
Quite the
you just have to
savant.
be there.
I'm sorry.
You gotta
She's-
be there.
Bella's
You
quite
weren't,
the
but-
savant. She can literally do anything. She
Literally
can do
anything.
anything. What
So
you,
fucking annoying.
She's been doing music since she was a child. Literally, you just posted a picture on Instagram of you, like 4 years old, holding a mic.
Her performing for thousands of people
There's like
in an
a
arena.
whole crowd. Honestly, truly, which is amazing. And then she paints, she draws, she tattoos, she
Her nails
does
right now. My
photography,
hair, her hair.
videography. She's amazing, incredible. So I just think so what do you do in the industry with all of those options? What is your degree in?
My degree is cinematography and videography associates. as well.
Girl boss. There's not enough
yeah.
female cinematographers.
Period.
And the ones that are out there, we see you. And
There are
we
a lot of
respect it.
female actors, but there are a lot of female actors that are portrayed by men instead of
True.
themselves.
I think a lot of people also get weeded out because it's usually like an all male crew.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
a lot of them really,
Mhm.
really want to, and then they kind of just dissipate a little bit. But oh
Yeah.
well. But
Well,
we're
there-
coming in. We're coming in hot. So
Specific
I don't
jobs they can do.
watch
and
out. Mm-hmm.
Bella's on the scene.
How did you guys like know that you wanted to get into film? Like what was that like for you?
Yeah, because you've been pulled to art like your whole life. So
Nah.
yeah,
Was it,
Skylar,
like-
how, what made you've been in theater, right, your whole life?
Yeah, so the thing is I always knew I wanted to like perform. Like ever since I knew that was an option. I never thought it was an
Mhm.
option for like a career. Like I was like I have to
You're
do this.
so entertaining. I bet one day you were like, now if I was getting paid,
Literally.
No.
No, like
or you guys should pay me.
yeah.
Skylar-
Everyone laughs. You're like, okay,
Skylar, before you even answer that question, I think you should quit and like any hopes of that and just do stand up comedy. But that's
Yeah.
for another time.
I mean, I guess you can act on the side, but being yourself is truly enough.
So everything you
How do you know
found
that's
out-
not an act?
Well, it probably is.
Yeah.
Cut the cameras. Skylar.
My name's not even
Anyway.
Skylar.
Performing.
If it was all an act, I'd be really impressed. I'd be really impressed.
As you should be. But I've always like I don't know, like my mom lost me on a cruise ship once and she found me on a stage with a microphone. She was like, "Okay,
Now we
All
know if we ever go on a trip and we're like, "Where's Skylar?" We're gonna
Skylar.
be like, "Quick, do you
quick.
guys have a theater here?
Are there any
you have a
curtains nearby she
stage?
could have mistaken for a
Is
theater?"
there a dressing room she snuck into?
Literally.
You don't
Yeah.
understand." And then after that, check the bathrooms. But
True.
first, if you guys ever lose me
I'll
on
be
a cruise
singing in
ship,
that
I'll be
bathroom too.
Depends
I'll
on
be
what
at-
I ate
The
today.
acoustics in there.
If I ate Taco Bell, then you better rush to the nearest bathroom.
Okay, so Bella will be on the. Where are you gonna be if we lose you on a cruise ship? Where are you gonna be?
the bathroom.
The bathroom. The bathroom.
Yeah.
I'll be on the stage.
If you guys lose
I
me,
have IBS.
I'm gonna be next to the unlimited ice cream machine, just
Dude,
cranking it out.
that
Just
buffet.
cranking it
Oh,
out.
buff. Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh, you'll be at the buffet. Do they have free cocktails? Because if so,
I'll
then
be at the bar.
there.
I take it back.
Stage, bar, ice cream machine.
And then
Look
the
at us.
bathroom.
The bathroom, the bar, or the bathroom.
We
for
should,
me.
if we ever go on a trip, we should just.
That's our
If we're-
itinerary.
If we're ever on a trip, we should just be like, all right, everyone gets a day alone to solo go around this cruise ship and do whatever they want, and all of us just doing our guilty pleasures. You
Yeah.
on a stage.
Yeah. It was just, and so she was like, okay, this is going to be something.
The
And
staff-
So I just kept performing, and like, you know, I've been in plays and stuff. Like I was the kid where it was like,
You don't have to be humble
Mom,
either.
Dad, I've written a play and now I will perform it for you. And they're like in the middle of the 2008, like, what was it called? When like
Crash, the
the,
depression,
What?
where like everyone lost their house.
the housing crisis,
Yeah. They're in the
The
middle
recession.
of the 2008.
The recession.
the recession.
I'm literally like, I've written a play for you.
Our smartest member is
Thank God.
on the sidelines
I
today.
know.
You can't come and
We're raw
scoop us
dogging
up.
this.
We got a film degree, guys. We were like, I want to watch movies for the rest of my life.
We got the
So,
associates.
we need to watch. I didn't get my degree in documentaries or
No.
history, so
Anyway,
maybe I should have.
No.
Sorry.
But
So
just
during the recession, yeah, there you were. There you were. You pulled him out of it.
literally.
I know you're sad right now, but
I know you're sad right
people
now.
nowadays with their TikTok dances.
Literally, me.
But you were.
But I didn't have that kind of audience. So I was like, I know you guys are literally filing for a divorce right now, but I just choreographed something to Lady Gaga's Paparazzi. So
but
I'm
if you
gonna
all
need
could
you to
please
watch.
a moment of silence.
maybe
Miss
this,
Gaga.
maybe this will cheer you up.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
boys,
Everyone
hit it.
quiet. Boom
It's
box.
just you and your like hamster.
Totally.
Your
The
cat.
dynamic duo.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's always been like, this is something I want to do, but I never knew it was like a viable option. Like it seemed like that's too good to be true. Like this can't be a career, but I didn't know what else I would do. So I was just kind of like, I hope something comes along soon where I can, and then I learned like, no, people actually do that like for money. So I was like, okay, I'll try. And it was a big community of like theater where I was. So I was like,
Mhm.
I guess Broadway, here I come. And then I was like, actually, that seems like a lot. Like, I love acting and I love theater, but just like, I don't know. I feel like the stamina that you need to have for that
Mm.
was a lot. And
That's. I
Yeah.
feel like I've always had that curiosity about you. Is why you didn't go into Broadway? Because you're like an incredible singer as well. So it's interesting that you. Yeah.
Yes.
Why you didn't go into musical theater?
Talking about
Why you
savants.
chose acting instead?
speaking of
Savant.
savant,
Speaking of savant.
well, I did. Like, that was the plan. And
Mhm.
then, people find out that I like to sing and that I like to act. And they're like, so you're a dancer too? You're a triple threat? No.
Oh.
And you know what Broadway is? Mostly dance.
Yeah. That's
So it was like,
dang.
I was in my first semester as a musical theater major, and they were like, here's 3 dance classes. And I was like, shit. And it was also just one of those things where it's like, there's so many different avenues when it comes to film. Like, they need an actor for this and this and this and this. Whereas for theater, it's like,
Mhm.
there's only so many shows playing on Broadway
Yeah.
type of a thing. Like, the
Yeah.
odds of it are just so low. And so I just kind of had to be realistic about it. I would still love to do it one day, of course, but like,
Yeah.
I was comparing myself a lot to other people and their level of dedication to that specifically when I was like, well, I also want to do comedy. I also want to do this. It felt like you had to be that or nothing else in order to make it. And I was like, I can't choose.
That's-
like,
Yeah. That's kind of what I was talking about a little bit when I was talking about how like people go if they don't start a sport when they're 4 years old, then then if you get bored of it and then you have to restart, there's no option. Like you're not going to become a pro in it.
yeah.
So it does get like really intimidating where it's like, "Oh my god, like I want to try this new thing,
Mhm.
but I'm behind everyone else.
right.
So is it even worth it?"
Yeah. And to feel that way when you're 18, you're like, it's too late.
Right?
Like, damn.
I-
Everyone's like, you're so young. You have so much ahead of you. And I'm like, I'm not already I wasn't
Yeah.
a child star. So actually, I have nothing.
That's
Like-
that's what happened with me. That's how I kind of like I had no idea I wanted to be in the film industry. I grew up doing music my whole life. Like I played piano and then I played drums
Drums.
and I did percussion.
Hottie alert. She plays drums.
Bongos.
Sorry.
But-
Sorry. Where was I? Besides being
You
hot.
did music.
Yeah, and I did percussion and I did band and I was so I was so encapsulated with that I thought the music was gonna be the rest of my life. And to be fair, it is still kind of like it's still a dream for me. I love it so much. And that was gonna be the whole plan. And then when I realized that my only options becoming like a professional musician was to be in a band, to figure out how to be my own producer, or teach, or be an orchestral. I didn't want to do orchestral. I didn't want to play the timpani the rest of my life.
Sorry to the timpani.
Or tambourine.
Sorry to the tambourine.
Love tambourines.
If you're a tambourine out there listening, I apologize.
And I didn't want to be a teacher because those who can't do teach, and I didn't want to settle. And
actually, sorry to teachers out there. Jesus
sorry.
Christ.
I should back that up.
Sorry, Miss.
Sorry. I just
Sarah
have a lot of
second grade.
I have a lot of like trauma from my music teachers because all of them
Don't we
all
all?
of them were white men, and they were all of like the oh my god, the percussion teachers were so bad. Like they were so
like whiplash bad?
aggressive. They were so like, I almost made it, but I didn't. Yeah, but not even whiplash bad. Like nothing to back it up.
Yeah.
Nothing to back it up. Like they would just, I don't know. It was like borderline abusive. Usually, sometimes it is when art. Like
Whiplash.
I'm laughing because
Like,
you're
they would-
speaking
they
truth
would
right now.
they would threaten to throw things at you, and I'm like, okay, I know that you're really
so you
cool.
went to a good school. They only They didn't just throw it.
They
That's
did it.
fancy.
They committed,
Okay.
and for that I respect it. But yeah, there's something about, we could talk about this later, but there's something about like like men in percussion that there's like this certain
So then you
aggressiveness
decided.
with it.
So then you decided to go.
Yeah.
No. So the men were too aggressive there. So then you decided to
To go into
film.
What a fool I am.
Woof.
I just thought there weren't any sticks to throw. Now they just have other
It's a boom
heavier
mic.
metal, more expensive objects to throw instead.
Yeah, at
They
least it
they
puts
have
a
more
hole in
walls to
in-
punch through.
hole
I
in
know.
their
There's just
pocket.
no winning. There's just no
No.
winning in art. 'Cause they're just
Damn.
so passionate
That's-
about it.
Somebody write that down.
Get that tattooed on
There's
me.
no
There's no
winning
winning in art.
in art.
None.
I'm gonna put it on my forehead anyway.
Tortured always. So so then after I did music my entire life, I graduated, and then I was like, well, and I was gonna go into architecture. I was gonna be a landscape architect.
Are you serious?
I knew
Yeah.
this, I didn't know
And
this.
still, because I just love plants so much.
Buildings.
That's what, and I talked about that 24/7. And then I realized that there was gonna be like a hole in my heart a little bit because I loved being a part of art so much and thinking
Yeah.
about how I'd probably lose creating it. Like I took a gap year after high school,
Smart.
and then there was COVID and everything, so it was perfect timing. And I just realized that like I was just never gonna like pick up an instrument again or create anything really again if I didn't keep it in my life.
Yeah.
So then no one in my whole life had any idea I was gonna do this. And then I went, hey guys, I'm applying to film school, and everyone went, huh? Huh? And I said
Thank you, Callie.
And I said, surprise. And so it was pretty shocking. And I'm really happy with it. I think I just like being a part of a team. I think I like creating art and everything. So even though I didn't always want to be in the film industry, I've always used like escapism a lot in my life. And I remember watching a movie
Yeah.
and being like, hold on a minute.
This means more to me than it means to other people
Yeah.
somehow.
And it's all I did. It's all
Mhm.
I did was watch film. All I did was watch TV, 20 music videos 24/7.
Oh,
And then I was
God.
like, why don't I do this? Like, why don't I have a hand in creating this and being a part of something that moves people so much? Like, if I can't do that with music, then, maybe I can do this. And I didn't really care what I did on crew. And my degree is in acting directing. So I really want to be a
Really?
director.
My
So-
degree is in acting.
The associates.
Okay.
Hey, still a degree.
Fuck me.
You just say degree
God.
after it.
I just thought it was funny.
It still counts.
Yeah, it's funny because like it's kind of very, very different for me in that I never was really big into film, and I actually kind of despised people that were, because a lot of the people that I knew that were those type of people that we met in film school that were
Right.
like made it their whole
She was
personality.
like, the people I despise. Yeah, I met them, and I
You.
still do.
No, I do. But that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth because there were a lot of these kids.
Yeah.
Usually they were men because I went to an art school. I went to a school for fine arts, and there were a couple kids. There was
He was
no
born
film
for it.
program, but there were a couple kids that wanted to get into film after. And I just hate it. It was all like Fast and Furious and like, oh gosh, what are some examples of the ones at the film school, boys? Fight Club. And they would talk about it 24/7, and I was like,
Even though
I
they're not
hate
supposed to
that.
Eternal
talk about
Sunshine
it.
of the Spotless Mind.
I hate
Okay,
that.
but I love that.
It is a
Yeah,
great
it's a good movie.
movie.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless.
But-
But I looked at them and I was like, I hate that.
But they're my
I'm-
heroes.
I'm
they're
gonna
they're
do
my
that.
heroes, and it's like you need to acknowledge that
Yeah.
some characters are bad. Sorry,
no, it's okay.
to Callie's eyes. And she was
So-
like,
Anyway, rewind. When my first ever dream was to be an astronomer, but that and then my second ever dream was to be a novel writer. And I did that for a while.
Callie
Callie's
apparently
off-screen
too.
said both her too.
Callie's wagging her tail over there.
Callie wanted to be an astronaut.
So then but I didn't really put those two together because then I still wrote all throughout high school. But then I went to the fine arts school and I did painting, and my last year I got into photography and videography, and I just kind of made stuff randomly.
You
And then-
realized
And it
how
was
good at
really
it you are.
good. She just randomly
It
created
was
masterpieces.
for my agent for not having it. It was pretty good, and so
You don't have to be humble.
they were. Don't worry, I won't be. But no.
Oh,
but I kind of, when I was thinking about going to college, I like kind of put it together. I'm like, I like writing stories, and I like the cameras. So I'm like,
kinda
why would I
clicked.
not do that?
Make
And
stories
then
with cameras.
why would I not make stories? And I wouldn't necessarily write for scripts or for movies, but I could use the camera as like a visual medium to tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
And now I don't want to be in film anymore, but that's fine. It was beside the point. At the time,
The more you learn about it,
yeah,
the
now
more you
I'm-
question it.
I'm focusing. We'll talk about this again at some point, but I'm focusing mainly on photography and videography, like other freelance stuff like that.
But I guess we should talk. I think we should delve into that because considering how you've had your whole life in so many different art forms, it's
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
you know, you realize that you should step back from this one. I think that says a lot.
Do you think it'll be one of those? This is impossible to know, of course, but do you think it's one of those things where it's like I do music and sometimes I'm just sick of it, so I'm kind of musiced out right now, so I take a break from it. Like, do you think this is also just me knowing how talented you are in film and not wanting you to
Aww.
give it up completely? Do you think it's something you'll revisit in the future, even if it's not necessarily your career?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't want to have it as a career
Yeah.
just because it doesn't fit with my lifestyle in so many ways.
It really
That's
is very
important
to
demanding.
realize.
I have so many things that I love to do that I am not going to do as a career. But like for cinematography, I mean, video work I'm always going to do. So like music video,
God.
short film even. But like thinking about being a cinematographer as my full-time job, I would way rather be like a photographer and be able to do a bunch of different projects and travel rather than like being stuck in a dark room for 16 hours for
Yeah.
months in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my expectation of film completely contradicted the reality of it when I got to school.
I mean,
It
sounds so
it's
fun to be
entirely
like,
different than what I thought it was.
Yeah.
when you tell people, you're like, I'm going to school for acting, they're like, oh my God. You don't know the harrowing reality of it, of having to edit your own reel. Like, woof. Like, I don't know. It's just,
You're entirely like self-employed.
yeah, a lot of that. A lot of like the business aspects of it. Like people, I feel like really view it as like, oh my God, you made this hobby like your whole life. That's really fun. And you only get to have fun. And it's like, as much as like I probably have more fun than like someone with an office job because I'm doing something that I love and that is fun, there are still a lot of business aspects to it that is work.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like, I don't think a lot of people realize that. And then it's weird to talk about because it's like, oh, well, you're like, you don't have to do this and that. Like, you're so lucky that you, and
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'll shut up.
There's so much, like, money changes the experience entirely.
Dude.
Money changes your entire experience. So we have completely different experiences than other people, perhaps, because in like other people's experiences, being an actress means that they can, like, their parents will do all the research for them. They will drive them everywhere. They will get them an agent. So you don't have to do the work of finding jobs. You just
Yeah.
have to do the auditions. Your parents will set up the cameras, or you just pay people to set up the camera, produce it, things like that. Like
Whereas like I need to buy my own camera. I need to buy my own ring light.
you have to edit your
I
own.
need to probably take my own headshot.
Yeah.
Like shit like
That's
that.
the thing about not being a nepo baby. But I'm like,
It
there's
takes
so
away
many people
all
that I
hope.
think came from nothing, like Timothy Chalamet and Jeremy
None
or
of
whatever.
no. They
Alan White.
all have a leg in the door
I'm like,
already.
he's so raw. He's so like original coming in. Like, no, apparently.
No, he was groomed for this.
Yeah.
No, they
literally
paid,
since he
they
was a
spent
little kid.
all they paid all the money
They made him in a little test tube.
for. And then for another example, like in regards to just like creating films outside of school, we have to create our own company. We have to pay the taxes on that company. We have to produce. We have to manage it. We have to be our own business consultants.
Get our own permits.
our
Get
own
our own
accountants.
insurance.
We
get
have to
our,
do all of that ourselves. We have to, unless we pay someone to produce, which we don't have
With
the
what
money
money?
to do that.
Anyway, do some research on that because
It's it
if you're
changes
not in film,
it changes everything. And then another thing that I think like my expectation was completely changed is how it's not like any other career because it's so non-linear. Like there's not
Dude.
steps. Like I have a degree now. Cool. Like that's one of the reasons why I said that it was like purposeless to have a degree because I know how to make a film,
purposeless. Yeah.
but but now they didn't teach us at the core of it, like what I
Yeah.
just said about how like if we don't hire a business manager or we don't
Mhm.
hire a producer, we have to figure all of this stuff
Or
out.
it's like we had
on our
one
own.
class about that, like in the
Mhm.
beginning, and all that's gone from our brains.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
like I can't find the notebook I took notes.
Like
for
as soon
that
as you
on.
step out the door and they don't give you like cameras for free and you don't have like endless crew and you don't have
Yeah.
the school to pay for the insurance for these shoots and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like you're entirely on your own and they gatekeep. A lot of the industry is gatekeep. Like one of our
Yeah.
friends is trying to become a casting director and she has really no idea how. Like they sometimes they just don't teach it. Even
Mhm.
I also bought masterclass so I could like learn from all of these directors who know stuff and they're not even getting into the nitty-gritty of like,
How to
oh, when I first
actually
left
do
I had
it.
to create a business and
it's strange in that it's a career where it's like there's secrets to it.
it's a
So
competitive career.
it's competitive, and so there's it's like you can watch Gordon Ramsay's masterclass, but he's not going to
Yeah.
tell you his secret ingredient or like something because it's a threat to
Mhm.
him, and so it's really hard and like
yeah.
to learn it is it's very like not disappointing, but it's just like
frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it's
Mhm.
how are we supposed to succeed when when half of our tools are like being held against us? Like
yeah.
they refuse to give them to us. We
And I
have no
think-
idea how to get them.
I think that's why like nepo babies and stuff have such a leg up in the film industry, is because they do have those tools. They know
Yeah.
exactly how to do it.
Yeah. They're hiring people who have done it for years
Yeah.
and then not telling anyone else. They're just like telling their kids and then their kids are carrying on. Yeah, there's so much that we have to discover for ourselves and I think it's going to take time, but I'm excited to
Oh, sorry.
break through. No, please.
So when you finally like told your family, what were their reactions like? You remember?
My family knew from the beginning. My mom said when I was a baby,
Yeah.
I would make faces in the mirror. Like I would like fake cry in the mirror. And she was like, my baby's either going to be a sociopath or an actress. So thank God. So like they weren't I
Two
was
in
like-
one, why not?
It wasn't like a whole conversation. It wasn't like a mom, dad, I'm going to be an actress. They were like, well, duh. Like
That's fair.
we know.
They were like, sure, but like,
there's nothing we can do to They've been very supportive, which is very nice. There's the odd family member here and there that's like, don't you want to
So when are you
like,
gonna
do
get a
anything else
job?
with your life? Like,
yeah.
like, but they've been very supportive and I've been very lucky for that. If anything, it's a lot of like worry. Like it's a
Yeah.
lot of like, no, I support you, but like, how are you going to pay rent? Like, where are you going to live?
And you always try to take that from a place of love,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah. But you also can't help but take it a little bit as like, you don't think
They
I can
doubt.
make it?
Mm-hmm. That's
You don't think I'm cut out for Hollywood? Like,
exactly how my mother and
I
my
don't think
grandmother are.
Anyone's cut out for Hollywood.
dude.
Like, because growing up, I had really good grades. I was like on the track to go to like, I don't know. I was going to get like a scholarship for university and things
you were
like
headed
that.
for Harvard.
Not Harvard, but
Princeton.
Yale. And I just remember like working really hard in school so that I could
Mhm.
go to a great college. And then I was like, psych, I'm going to go to community college and I'm going to go to learn film. And they were like, wow, so like you put in all that work just to not even like, you're not going to get a real job? Like, how in the world are you going to be able to pay for our housing when we're older? Like, excuse me, I'm going to need care. You're going to have to put me in a house and now you can't afford that. So now I'm worried. I'm like, sorry, Mom.
It's called retirement fund.
I'm like, I hope you guys are
Better
prepared
save.
because I'm not.
Cue Kurt from Glee singing, all that work and what did it get me?
All that work.
Why did I do it? But it's your parents at you and you're like, I'm
It's
doing fine.
Crazy because I'm having the time of my life.
It's also it's my life.
My dad's like supportive he's like, yeah, if you work hard enough, like if you just keep working at it, sure, you can do anything. And that's really, that's reassuring.
Approach.
But at the same time, he's like, sometimes he'll like poke me and he'll be like, so are you putting in that work? Are you putting in that work? And I'm like, I sure am trying. Your parents probably expected definitely for you to be part of the arts.
Yeah, my parents are both, all of my family are musicians, and they were like, you know, starving artists for most of their lives, super, super, super poor when I was a kid. And so, like, I never had any pressure to do anything other than what I loved, which I'm very, very thankful for.
Oh.
There was a lot of pressure for me to be a musician, and I think my mom still is really, really sad. Like, every time I talk to her on the phone, she's like, but just, you have such a beautiful voice. Just don't stop writing songs. Like, just don't stop. And I'm like, I won't, but I don't want to do that as a job.
Yeah.
But, like, my whole family, everyone reacted the same. And it was like, film is like this, what? You're gonna do film? Like, it's like this weird, like, crazy thing that they know nothing about.
Yeah.
It's like the one area they didn't have an in with.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
were like,
and
"You're
like
kidding me?
they
All these
weren't.
resources
They
and
thought
you're
it was cool. Like, they thought it was really cool because
love
they had
that.
no idea anything to do with it. They were like,
because Hollywood is like, ooh, so elite and stellar.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
In
Bougie.
reality, it's like someone took a shit on Hollywood Boulevard.
In
on
reality,
someone's
it's like,
star.
shit, I need $5 million
Y'all
to
have
do
y'all ever
anything right now.
smelled the grip, Grandma?
Can we fly in 5,000 crew members, please?
We're flying some Axe body spray.
Yeah.
Can we get a whole bucket?
Oof,
a whole
of
5
those,
tons of it poured on the streets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty. More so, less physically, more so the personalities in the film. They're just a little stanky. They're a little stanky.
Yeah. Could we fly in a therapist? Could we?
I think it's
For
kind
any
of.
of
I
these
think it's
people?
kind of like us. Like I've kind of like become a shell of myself now because it never turns off. Like it never turns off. Like I'm constantly thinking about what film I need to write, what film I need to produce, what do I need to do, like all of the steps, constantly, because we're our own. I'm the business.
When it is like your hobby, that work-life balance is so hard to find.
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where it's like, it's hard to be like, oh, I don't really feel like doing that right now. And it's like, I can't feel that way
Yeah.
if I want to do anything
you
or
kind
be
of
successful.
Jeopardize your love for it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I was
You
okay
can get burnt out.
letting go of music because I was
Mhm.
like, when I want to do it, I still can.
Yes.
But with film, now I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm not as excited about it as I used to be because there used to be a choice.
Right.
Now it's kind of like I need to have to
Mhm.
dig inside myself either way.
Yeah. I literally remember it was some random day in high school. And I remember like sitting down and going, like everyone was applying to colleges and I had no idea what I was doing. And I remember sitting down and going, Skylar, you need to commit to something.
Yeah.
So right now you're going to pick music. Like, are you going to work really hard to do that? Or you're going to pick
Mhm.
acting?
So
And
how
I-
it works. Yeah.
And no, that's not how it works. And I couldn't
Mhm.
decide. And I would like,
Tell it.
I was like-
make it.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
That's how it
music for
works.
sure. And then I would like hear one of my best friends sing a song. And I was like, okay, so I'm not going to make it there actually.
Oh.
And then like,
Mhm.
okay, acting for sure. And then I would see some, like 4-year-old acting better. And I was like, okay, like
So
I
intimidating.
flip-flopped. So intimidating. And so like, because it's competitive. And so
And there's a pressure to be the best at it.
there is a huge pressure
Like
to be the
like
best at it.
like
Highly
you have to be the
competitive.
Oscar winner, not just somebody who's good at it.
Exactly.
You can't just do film and they'll be like, well, I've never seen yours at the AMC. And it's like, there's different levels of it that people
Yeah.
don't understand either.
Yeah.
You can still have a, like, you know, like, you can absolutely still make videos
Mhm.
and live
Uh,
the same life as, you don't have to make millions of dollars off of it to
Exactly.
be successful in it. You can just pay the bills and that's success in itself.
Yeah.
It's exactly what one thing that I didn't really realize before going into film school, and I think it's just advice for life in general for whatever you're doing, is like there are so many more jobs. It's not just actor, director, writer,
Yeah.
producer. Like there are so many ways that you can
Mhm.
do what you love to do in your field
Mm-hmm.
without
Having to be at the very top.
Yeah.
having to be the cinematographer
all
or
the weight on your
or
shoulders.
even like the gaffer, the grip. Like there's so many like supporting roles
Mm-hmm.
and things that are different, like for advertisement, and it's the same thing, or
Yeah.
for videography and photography, like I
Like,
do.
for
It's
Pete's
very
sakes, like an
similar.
accountant for a film manager, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there are just accountants
You
specific
can be a
for
historian
film.
for film.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can be like there's so many different
branches
aspects.
And
that
I
come
think-
off of it, yeah.
I think it's important to like have big dreams and like dream that success for yourself. Like, of course I want to like be in a major feature film someday and like win awards for blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Of
Yeah.
course I can want that for myself, but I'm also realistic about like if I just end up making things that I love and also doing like community theater, I
Mhm.
think I'll be happy.
Yeah. And I was thinking that, like, even if it doesn't work out that way, we know how to make films, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, even if they go nowhere, we still can like tell these fun stories and have fun,
Yes.
because like at the end of the day, that's kind of a privilege
totally
that we have all this knowledge that we don't, like that we have all this knowledge that some other people don't.
Yeah.
true.
I think it's pretty cool.
We're pretty cool, y'all.
Yeah.
If you didn't know,
So I'm still pretty excited. I'm still pretty happy that we all got to meet in school together. That's
know.
still like, for that I'll be always grateful.
There's a lot of us. We have a gaggle of girls.
a gaggle of girls.
Girls and theys and
Gaggle of
thems and-
girlies.
it's like a murder of
Loves and-
crows.
The gaggle.
The gaggle of girlies.
There's no other way to describe it.
Nope. And we do a lot of gaggling and giggling too.
I think gaggling, yeah, that's a perfect word for us. But thanks for dealing with me. I'm still recovering from being a little sicky
Oh my
pie.
gosh!
Shut up.
Everyone be nice to Bella because we love her, and if you
Did
don't,
If I
say anything
see
about my
one-
monotone?
there will be consequences.
If I see one negative comment,
I swear to God.
About
She's
any
an
of
angel.
us.
Well,
I
thank
don't
talk
even
about this
know
before.
what
I'm
threat
so
to
glad
give
that you're
right now
here. I'm
because I
so glad
feel
that
it.
you made it. Ugh,
Thank
you know,
you.
It's about goddamn time. Bella's just like a treasure trove of information,
Knowledge,
and art, and beauty,
art.
and
What do I even do with this
Beauty.
all? Wow. You guys are
yeah, just sit in the
amazing.
middle there and be part of this love sandwich.
I'm gonna cry later. I don't know if I should cry or
Go on, bust. Okay. Someone had to say it. She looked at me in my eyes like
someone did
Payson.
not have to say it.
She looked
I
at me.
looked
She was
at her.
not. You didn't see her eyes. They were
Mm.
pleading. They were like,
Say bust.
they were like, I can't
Like,
say it because I'm a
push,
lady, but you can.
push.
Just a trash can of little
But
boy remarks.
I'll probably be
But
on
yeah.
more.
So
Ew.
please, yeah, join us for the next time. We still have so much to talk about.
I
But
know
this
the
is
way
just a
we've
little-
barely dipped our little dogs into.
Barely.
That's why
Barely,
we have
man.
more episodes.
They're just
Yeah.
they're misted. They're not even wet yet.
They're not even wet. So
And-
I know
Anyway.
I made the analogy, but now that you've taken it to a level that I'm uncomfortable with, I'm mad at you.
Seems to be
So.
the case every time. At least I'm consistent.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, thanks for dealing with us. Oh my gosh. I hope that this was interesting to listen to.
And
I
if it
think-
wasn't, comment below.
if it wasn't, go do
I
something
think-
else.
I think it's just exciting to share.
kidding.
I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot of a lot of like at our level in this
Mhm.
career, and also I don't think I see a lot of women just talking about what it's like to be
Yeah.
a part of the industry. So just I don't know. Like
Also,
I
if
said,
it's not
we just dipped our
interesting.
toes.
Just listen to it while you're doing something that is interesting.
True.
And just be grateful for your career and be like, you know what? Why did I get into this? Maybe do a little reflection too.
I hope
Because
that
it's
this
good to
is-
remind myself why I'm doing this.
I
'cause
hope that
love
this
it.
is at the very least encouraging to other women or young women in film that want to get into it, and that we were realistic about some parts of it, and we're also still we're still dreamers in our
Yeah.
hearts. So we hope that in the future that we can share little things we've learned along the way that can help you. And
Mm.
I think this is we've only just begun.
And we're here for you. We're here for you. Let
Stick
us know if
along
you
for the
need anything.
ride.
Oh yeah.
We're
And
gonna
join
be
us for the next one.
evolving, so
Yeah.
join
ready
evolve
for
with
that.
us.
I
Let's
might have
go.
different hair next time. Who knows?
You probably will. I'm gonna dye it. All right.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, thank you
Thank you.
guys.
Can
Oh
we
my
send you our
gosh.
best?
Bye. Bye.